What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Ah! What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? I had to make a couple adjustments because I couldn't be having nobody coming on my show and they're looking better than me. So anyway, let me send this link so I can get this link going on, and we're gonna get this party started. Let me do the intro right quick while we get everything started. Hey everybody! Hey! Let me drop this. I dropped the link already, but let me invite my guest on. Without further ado, I gotta have him on here. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this one. All right. What's going on? I did that 30-second of that. I don't even like that one, but I did that intro just give you 30 seconds to warm up. I had to drop the link. It's my error that I didn't drop the link for my guest. I was trying to do something different, and you know how it is when you're trying something different. It don't ever work out right. But what's going on? It's Val Comedian, and I got a special guest tonight. I got my boy, Mr. Law, coming in. But let me drop this link for him, because I was supposed to email it to him, but I cannot copy it. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? I got a couple of messages in here, and I'm going to try to get to those couple of messages and see what's going on to see, oh, it didn't go that way. Okay, so to see what's going on, let me close this up, because that ain't going to work. Okay. All right. So let's see what's going on in the messages. Okay. It's my error. Let me get this. Waiting for my guest to pop in. I just sent him the wrong link. Got the wrong link back. Let me get to what your questions are. It's been a day, y'all. It's been a day. But you know what? Only the strong survive. Bam. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what I got to do. Okay, let me get Mr. Law in here. Give me 1 second. I have to drop it for him this way because I messed up. And I'll play this real quick while this is playing.
Give it up for my friend who came from Vegas.
You know what I'm saying? You know what? Coughing and sneezing is a different level for you when you get in your 50s. Man, I'm shooting that God bless you. I checked my panties. I'm trying. Thank you. I'm trying.
I'm 52, I'm a little bit too old for you. He said, no, you're not. I'm perfect for you. I said, well, what? Child support? Breathe before you go down there, because I'm not going to give you too much air. You want air, you push the air in, you still get back out. That's how you get air out, okay?
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope everybody's clicking that like button. Even though I ain't said too much to like right now, but guess what? I finally got that link right. So I finally typed that link in right, and we're finally going to get it started. Let's get this party started. So somebody said, who is Law? You will soon find out. You will soon find out. Hi, D. Let me go ahead and speak to everyone. Thank you for joining in with us. Jenny, thank you, Jenny. You're here, Ma. Thank you. Thank you, Dot. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what else got going on here. Sincere, thank you very much for dropping by. I'm going to get this started. And I just dropped a link to him. I say, but D. Marie, thank you for joining in with us. Hi, everyone. Hi. First of all, I wanted to say that I started going back to doing interviews, doing to the fact that interviews I find more interesting than me just rambling off at the mouth, telling you what's going on with me, since everybody too shy to get up here and come on camera. So I had to find another way. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that, Doc. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. And thank you so much for Sincere for loving my personality. I try at it. I just try to be me. I try to be me, and being me is being me. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my other phone. Let me see if you got that link yet. I apologize. I gotta go get my other phone. Let me see if he got that link. Let's see, because I don't see him backstage yet. Okay. I know you hate silent, but I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. Okay. You look amazing over there. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, babe. Thank you. No, I need to post that one up. Ow. Okay. Let's see. What else is going on? Let me see. Positivity vibes. Yep, you got that right. Positive vibes only. Positive vibes only. That's all we deal with. We only want positivity. If you don't want, if you're not positive, then move it on. Be gone and move it on. Let's see what he's saying. Oh, he's coming now. Okay. He's coming now, and when he comes, I'm going to join him in. And it's not his fault he wasn't here. It's my fault because I sent the wrong link. You know what I'm saying? I sent the wrong link. So I got to get it together. Girl, got to get it together. So he's coming in now. Anyway, so you know what? Guess what today is? Monday. I'm doing this on Monday because of the simple fact that this was when he was available. So when you're doing any artist, got to adjust to their schedule. So they adjust your schedule, you adjust to their schedule, and we make time where we can find time together. So this is the time we could find together was Monday. So he's going to come in. Let's see. I got your back. Thank you, Sincere, for having my back, boo. Maybe you won't be so shy to come in. You might have a question for him later. Let me, I got a couple questions for him first, and then I'm gonna let everybody else come in and see if you have any questions to say. Oh, no, he didn't say finer than wine. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay. All right. Let's see. D Marie said, how many phones you got? Well, D, guess what? I got 2 phones. Well, 2 cell phones. I have 1 house phone. Everybody laugh at me. Perry laughed at me for still having a house phone, but I don't care. I have a house phone and I have 2 cell phones. 1 cell phone is my business phone, and the other phone is my personal phone. So that's why I have 2 phones. Okay. Thank you, Jenny. Saying I'm amazing. Thank you so much. Okay. So I put up a video too yesterday. Hopefully you guys will click over there and like on the video and then happen to watch. It's only 5 minutes and 38 seconds. It was a quick little, we call it open mic. And I did a quick little open mic last night because a couple of people were in town and asked me would I stop and do a couple of things. And I was like, cool, I got y'all. So I stopped and did it, but they had to leave before we could do the show. But I am of my word. So I still went and did my thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a nice night. It was a nice turnout. We had a lot of people came out for the open mic. Matter of fact, we had more people come out for the open mic than spots was available. I remember being in that situation, being a comedian, and you get to somewhere and you can't go up because no more spots, you know. So we had a lot going on. Okay. So I'm gonna bring my brother in. What's up? What's up?
Hey, there she go. What's up?
I apologize for sending you the wrong information. I was trying, baby. I was trying.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, you got to have patience with this thing, man. Like with all StreamYards and all kind of technology we're dealing with, you know?
Uh-huh. I know. You're looking handsome as ever, like always, always.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank
From
you.
the West Coast to the East Coast.
And you gorgeous as well, as always.
I thank you. I thank you. I would like to introduce my buddy, my friend, Mr. Law, okay? Because I call him Mr. Law. I'm going to let him introduce himself the way he want to be introduced. And so the first question I have for him is, who is Law?
Who is Law? The greatest question that could ever be asked. I'm just a kid from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, St. Mark's Avenue, who's living his dream and continuing the family legacy of music and everything that involves in that, and just striving to be a better person every day and to hopefully be an inspiration to anybody of a younger caliber or older caliber that wants to live their dream of doing music in this industry. Not just even in music, but just all around entertainment, whether it's, you know, comedy, acting, movies, and things like that. I just want to be an inspiration to people, to show people that you can do it. You don't need this. A lot of things that people think that they need, and I'm living proof that without a major label, without any of the extra shenanigans, that you can achieve and live your dreams if you just follow, stay the course, and treat people right and do the right thing. So that's who pretty much.
Okay. So what part of New York? Because I hear that, I know you're from New York. So what part of New York is what part of New York you from?
Oh, Brooklyn.
I know it. Okay. I have family in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have my family, the Thrors. They grew up. Some of them grew up in Bed-Stuy.
Okay, there. Oh, come on, that's right down the block. Yeah.
I got one cousin. She still lives in Bushwick.
Oh shit! I used to work in Bushwick. Wow.
I went to visit her there. She stayed on. She stayed on it's like the 70-something floor. She stayed on the top, right? Because they do those co-ops, you know what I'm saying? She was on top. Man, I went out there. She like, come on, look at my garden on my parents. I went out. I'm scared of heights. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm good. I'm scared of heights. I couldn't do the heights and stuff out there.
Scared of heights? That's crazy. Okay.
But I do love New York though. New York is a different lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's a different lifestyle.
It's very fast paced. It's very rugged. You know, you hear the cliche, cheesy slogan all the time that only the strong survive. I think that was written about New York because, you know, and mind you, we're not the only hood and the only place like that in America, but do understand that our reputation to all of the other cities and counties across the USA. I always tell people, Motown may have started in Detroit, Stax may have started in Memphis, a lot of stuff started in LA, but what do they all have in common? They all wanted to come to my town to make it happen. So that's why I always say we'll always have that thing. And of course, there's no disrespect to their town. I'm just saying more so. We're known for the activism, the fast-paced part of it, the rugged part of it. You know, Frank Sinatra said it best: if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's really true.
You know what? A question was asked like, who is Law? You know, and you know what? When I can't put my finger on it because you have done so many things. You make music, you do music, you dance, you choreograph stuff, you produce stuff. I mean, you know, I can toot your horn all day long. You play instruments, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know, you rap, you don't just sing, you rap too. You rap, you sing. I mean, like, what do you not do?
Lie. I'm a truth teller. I'm a notorious truth teller. So you know, and it's funny because you know, what's my man name? He's getting all the press now. Kwame Brown. Like, it's good to see guys like him get a spotlight for being who he is and who I've been for the last 20, 30 something years. Like I've always been that kind of person because, you know, guys like me and him and a few other people I can't name off the top, like, you know, if you were a truth teller, we were the guys that in the industry that they would tell other artists to stay the hell away from because a lot of times when you're speaking truth, it's kind of frightening to people. So I had to just throw that in there about like the fact that I really bent on just being as transparent as open. Doesn't mean I'm going to tell every aspect of certain situations, because there is a code that I do follow in terms of being a gentleman, and then certain things I don't have to really be played out in public. But at the same time, I'm also a believer in, you know, if you won't tell a lie on me, I won't tell the truth about you. Like, I'm a Scorpio, so that's
Scorpio. Whoa, Scorpio.
You know it, Scorpio Stadium. So I'm a straightforward person. I'm just very direct and very honest. And even when I'm being honest, I could either be brutal or sincere. It depends on the situation. It depends on who the person I'm talking to. So
that's that East Coast. That's that East Coast coming out of you. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard that. I've heard that a lot. I've heard that a lot. They always. I had so many people tell me, and of course, even with different like women that I've been around in general, they'd be like, you know, that's why we like y'all East Coast guys. And I never understood it, because I'm just like, really? I'm like, okay, because I'm thinking, you know, I'm giving props to LA. I'm like, okay, y'all probably like deal with the guys or just like to hang around the guys who are. And then when I heard that, it really blew my. I promise you not, no arrogance, no conceit. It really blew my mind to kind of. You know, to kind of hear that us East Coast guys were really appreciated for just being us, especially from Brooklyn. Because I get everywhere I go, they be like, "We hear that accent. We know you from Brooklyn." Like they pimp my fans pinpoint it all the time. It's ridiculous, but yeah.
But you know what though, I'm always being accused of being from the East Coast. And I'm not. I'm from the West Coast, you know, born and raised in Vegas, you know, but it's just people. Because people always say people from the East Coast is so hardcore, you know, straight to the point. And then they all say people from the West Coast is sensitive. We wear our feelings on our sleeve. But I could be a little hard. So people always think I'm from the, you know, East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
I know in your case, and this is what I love. This is what I love about West Coast women. Vegas, Cali, no matter where it is. Rugged but sophisticated at the same time.
Hey, whoa,
it's a balance. So that's the one thing about West Coast women that I've always been kind of drawn to in terms of that. Because remember, LA is my second home, and then my older brother Casino Chip and my nephew Young Sino, they still go back and forth to Vegas. We all from Brooklyn, but Vegas is like the second home for them at this point. But LA is me and my brother's second home altogether. But Vegas has become a new foundation because we spent many a wild nights and fun in Vegas. So.
You know what? You said something, and I'm gonna bring it up because you said something about your family. You started off way back from birth. You got some family history in the entertainment industry.
Oh yeah.
Speak on that. I don't want to toot your horn, so I want you to speak on that because I think you got something to do with Sam Taylor too, don't you?
Well, yeah, that's my legendary grandfather, Blues Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, that's a legendary guitarist.
Known for his work as the original guitarist for Joey D and the Starlighters, their 1960s big dance craze hit called the Peppermint Twist, for those that can go back that far. But most notoriously known for his work with 70s funk band BT Express. They're known for their big hits, Do It Till You're Satisfied.
Go ahead and do it.
Yep.
Do it.
Peace Pipe. He wrote Peace Pipe, and then also noted for a song called Everything That's Good to You, which was never released as a single, but thanks to the late legendary DMX, who sampled my grandfather's music for his first big hit, which, as we know, is Get At Me Dog. That's my grandfather's guitar riff in that song. So that's one. And of course, my mother, my incredible mom, Sandra Taylor, first place 86 Apollo Theater winner. My late Uncle Bobby Taylor, 13-time Apollo Theater winner. And my cousin, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, known for her work with Full Force, #1 record, Thanks for My Child. And of course, her incredible extensive work with Tyler Perry and just being one of the
in his place
badass singers on the face of this planet who I'm proud to call my cousin. So just a bunch. And then let me not forget to mention also my legendary uncle Tony T Funk Austin, who played with James Brown and Kool and the Gang. And my uncle Rudy Worrell, who was known for playing with Millie Jackson, the Dramatics, Blue Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just to name a few. And then last but not least, my Reverend Uncle Charles Taylor, gospel singer with the Charles Taylor Singers. They used to do what's called the Gospel Highway, which was part of the gospel version of the Chitlin Circuit, where they played with Sam Cooke and the Clara Ward Singers and Five Blind Boys of Alabama, Pilgrim Travelers, you name it. So
I was wondering when you was gonna bring up Sam Cooke, because your grandfather worked with him a lot too. But you know what?
He worked with Sam Cooke more so they were all on the road together. He never really like worked with Sam Cooke, but all the guys that were part of that touring circuit. So I mean, that still means the same thing, but he didn't personally work with Sam Cooke, but all the guys that played with Sam Cooke, because one of my grandfather's very good friends is the late legendary Bobby Womack. That was his boy. So they all used to have, and that was Sam Cooke's right-hand man, as everybody knows. But they're all part of that. So
but it might be in your blood, as they're saying. But let's go ahead and talk about you too, because you work with some famous people too. I know George Clinton, the late what was her name? The Weinhardt.
Amy Winehouse. Yes.
Amy Winehouse. Yeah, you work with her too. So how is it working with George Clinton? What I want to know.
Dream come true. On every level. I mean, I told my mother at 12 years old that when one day I'm going to work with George Clinton, because once I got into P-Funk, I figured that he was the only person that could understand the musical chaos that was kind of going on in my mind at that particular time. Because you got to remember my pedigree, since you've known enough about me to know that I'm all over the place. I mean, even though my roots are gospel and R&B and funk, I'm an 80s baby. So of course, heavy metal, hip hop, and jazz got added to the mix. So imagine being 10, 11 years old and you have this melting pot of all these different musical styles that you're into.
Right.
And it's almost like I got all this talent. I'm doing talent shows, and then it didn't hit for me, because I always say, even though Prince, Stevie, and Michael Jackson, George Clinton, Jimi Hendrix, and James Brown are my main primary idols, they were all adults. So this is why New Edition is my number one influence, because when I saw New Edition, even though they were older than me, but they still looked more like me.
Right, I got you.
They was doing all this shit, we was popping and locking like we was, but they was singing and rapping. So it felt normal to see, guys and groups like that came out later, like Troop, and later on for the 90s, Boyz II Men and Jodeci. That made me feel like my generation now, we had something that like my mom used to have when they had the Dramatics, the Temptations. Now this is our era now. So basically, having that, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, when I first heard the Mothership Connection album, it changed me forever. Because at that time, the only song I knew about George Clinton was Atomic Dog. So my Uncle Tony saw that I was getting deep into Parliament Funkadelic. That's what he was like, yeah, that Atomic Dog is cool, but check out some of these albums. That's when he turned me on to the older stuff from the 70s. And once I saw that album cover with a very skinny George Clinton in his prime on that Mothership on the UFO, his legs up. Once I heard Unfunky UFO and when I heard that shit, I was like, that's it.
Gotta have that funk.
I was like, Planet 12. It just, the whole concept came to me right there. I'm like, here's somebody that really understands what I'm trying to do with my love for science fiction and comic books, but also my extreme love for music. How do I package that and bring it all together? So George Clinton showed me the way. Even though I didn't know him yet, I didn't know him, but watching all the clips and reading the liner notes and listening to the music, the arrangements, the bass lines, the guitar parts, it showed me where I wanted to go.
Right. And but I used to work in a casino in Las Vegas Hilton, and George Clinton used to be one of the regulars there. And he's really, you think like, he's crazy. He got all that wild clothes on. He not. He's really cool. He's like, he down to earth. He cool. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't.
No, he's crazy, but he's a good. When we say crazy in our business, sometimes, I mean, of course, everybody knows the double meaning behind it. But George was out of his mind. But you know why? And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Why I say that respectfully. Because George, he knew what the hell he was doing when a lot of the industry people didn't get it right away. You gotta remember, Parliament Funkadelic had what was called the greatest dilemma. They were too street and ghetto for the mainstream white audience.
Right.
But yet they were too musically inclined and out there for the black audiences. A lot of black audiences they was like, okay, this is weird. Whereas the white people were like, okay, this is a little bit too hardcore and street for us, a little bit too urban. That's how George found his audience.
Right.
All those in-between people that love this new hybrid and mixture and craziness with the costumes. You know, George was the first one to rock the mohawk before the punk rockers did. He was ahead. He was ahead of the gamut with heavy metal and funk and rock and throwing elements of jazz. And remember, he was a doo-wop singer first. So you got to remember, he took all of that with him and put it in this big ass melting pot. This is the reason why we have Prince, Lenny Kravitz, Fishbone, Bad Brains, all Living Color, all those groups that incorporated rock and roll, heavy metal, and funk with an R&B texture. They owe a debt to Parliament Funkadelic, and especially hip hop, because as we know, 95% of most of the hip hop from the golden era is either samples of James Brown or So
but you know, even with you dealing with, you know, like you said, start off with singing and the rap part of it, it goes to show how versatile that you are, that you even hooked up even with Amy Winehouse.
Yes.
And how was it to work for her?
Oh man, like I always tell people about Amy, and I get emotional when I talk about her sometimes because you know, you gotta remember when I met Amy, she was what, 24, 25?
Okay.
Yeah, around 24, 25.
Okay.
And you know what blew my mind, because I remember I became a fan first. I mean, I tell this on my YouTube page. I tell the whole story of how I got the job and how I got hooked up in it and everything. So the one thing I want to give from a piece of that is I want the world to know that this girl knew her shit, man. She knew her music, and that's what blew me away. That's actually what made me want to sing backup and dance behind her, because at that point in my career, you know, I had worked with Shaka, I had worked with Freddie Jackson. I was doing my own stuff. I was already by that point I was like about a good 5 or 6 years in with the P-Funk camp. So I'm notorious at this point. I'm making things happen. I'm meeting some of my heroes. I'm you know, it's a slow blaze, and all of a sudden, you know, I get a call because people had seen me and heard about me. They were just like, yo, we want you to be a good addition to this girl we got named Amy. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll get back to you. I said, so of course I lied to them because I just wanted to just type in. I wanted to go to my computer. I'm like, okay, who is this chick? Because at that point, you know, you had a lot of people coming out. I ain't saying no names. You had a lot of artists coming out that I felt were trying to push under the real stuff. And
right.
And I don't care what anybody says. No matter who you sing backup behind or play behind, your reputation is forever attached to that shit. So I was very careful of how I moved. I wasn't just, call it arrogance, call it what you want, but I wasn't just singing behind anybody. At that point, after Freddie Jackson and Shaka, and you working with George Clinton, and you open up for all these different people. I'm working with Tony Bennett. I'm doing corporate gigs.
See,
if I'm gonna sing behind somebody, I want to sing behind somebody that people are either going to buzz about or talk about 20 years from now. So when I first heard the song, when I saw her video from her first album, it was a song called Fuck Me Pumps. I was in. I was like, she's dope. She's dope. And I just want people to know that Amy never really got a chance. Unfortunately, as we know, we lost her tragically, but Amy never really got a chance to really show people the full range
what she can do.
Talent. You think what she doing them first 2 or 3 albums? I mean, that was dope as hell. But she had just really begun. It really, I mean, her guitar work. People don't even realize a lot of her songs were written on acoustic guitar before it got to the bands that recorded on those records. Because remember, I'm not part of the original band. I came in to replace one of the brothers. Shout out to my boy Xylon. Who, me and him are the original background singers for Amy Winehouse. But him and his brother were already there in the mix of all that when it started, before his younger brother Hashima had to go and film a soap opera, because he's a soap opera star in London. So that's how I ended up coming in to take his place, and we ended up doing Amy's huge debuts. Like her first, we did. If you look on the David Letterman performance, you see me with the white Kangol on, styling with sneakers.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, how much record on? Do you have your YouTube browser open?
Who, mine? Actually, I don't.
Oh, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it went away. I don't know what happened. It was all of a sudden it was a echo in there. You know what? What does it take? What does it take for somebody to work with you?
Oh, great question. Great question.
Because I know, well, no, you know what? Let me rephrase that. What does it take for you to work with somebody?
I mean, that question can still be divided both ways because that's true
Okay.
too. It can go both ways. So I'll answer it the same way I would normally answer it. Dedication. People who are about their craft, people who are serious about wanting to achieve the best kind of status to have in the industry at this point, because the old model, in my opinion, it still has a presence, but for the most part it's dead. And, you know, I like to work with artists who are forward thinking. I like to work with artists who are very open-minded. And more importantly, I like the artists who are not afraid to still continue to learn. Because this is what people forget all the time. You're never too old to learn shit. And the problem with a lot of the younger artists is that because things are so given to them, because, you know, we see the cast, we see the videos, we see all this shit. And a lot of times the bad sides, I'm not saying it's a good thing, because you got to remember, depending on the situation that a rapper or a singer had went through, this is their big break. But at the same time, there's always a price to pay if your business is not correct. So I always try to educate a lot of the artists on what kind of moves they should make in terms of going about their thing, and to be open-minded. But again, going back to what I said, to never stop learning about your craft. There is always room to improve. Look how many years I haven't been. Look at all the things that I accomplished. I still practice every day. I still learn something new about my voice. I still find different techniques and things to use when I write rhymes. I pick up my bass and my guitar damn near every other 15 minutes. If I'm watching television, a lot of times if a commercial comes on, I just pick up my bass and just start playing just for no reason. It has to be embedded in you. You have to want to do it for yourself, you know, and if you don't do it for yourself, it doesn't make any sense. So that's the kind of artist I like to work with. And anybody who seeks me out, at least they know that they're going to get that kind of dedication from me, because that's just the way I am. I'm serious about this shit. So
yeah. You very dedicated to what you do. I already know that, because me and you have talked a couple of times, and you like solid. You know, you like solid.
I appreciate that.
You got something coming up too, and I know on Instagram you go by Planet12 Law. Okay. And I know that's like your street name too, because a lot of people call you Planet. Sometimes people call you Planet 12.
It's funny you said that, because here's the reality about that.
Okay.
The only person who called me Planet, I mean, a lot of them do now anyway, even though that's not my, Law is my actual name. But my great friend who just recently got married to the love of her life, the legendary, iconic DJ Spinderella. We've been besties for almost 20-something years. Like, she's from Pink House Projects. I'm from Albany Projects. I know her family very well. We know each other in the same distance and everything. She was actually the first person that actually called me Planet. But look, it's Spinderella. I'm not arguing.
I know. But hey, look, you know what?
You can call me anything you want.
Man, tell you something. When I met Spinderella, I was like, I was all gaga. Do you know that when I started comedy, the first set that I did was on Grown and Sexy Cruise? Well, guess who? Who was the host of that show? Of that? Q.
Oh shit! See, that makes a lot of see.
My first set that I ever did was on the Grown and Sexy Cruise, and Q. It was called Q Got Jokes. That's what his thing. Q Got Jokes. So I did. They had a open mic. So I decided, hell, I'm gonna get up here, give my shot. Cause I was getting ready to turn. I had turned 50 already, but when I was getting ready to turn 50, my dad was dying with cancer, and we talked about things in life. Things in life that you should have done, that you wish you would have done. And so my dad was like, "Why you never tried comedy? You always made us all crack up. You funny as all outdoors. So I told myself I always was scared too. He said, I wish that's something that you would have tried. So when he died, I thought about it. I said, you know what? I don't want to wait till I get to my deathbed and be wishing that I would have tried something that I really think that I really would enjoy. So when I was 52, I went on the boat and I tried it. And Q's like, I got ready to walk on stage. Q called me back. Q was like, this could not be your first time. I was like, yeah, this is my first time. He's like, this your first time? He said, first time. I said, it's my first time. And he was like, if this your first time, don't you ever stop. He's like, we was all back there because they was all professional. You know, Q, he a professional. You know, they was like, if this can't be her first time. You know, they was all like, if this your first time, don't you ever stop. You know, so Q inspired me. He said, Val, keep going, keep going. We still talk to this day. You know, he came out to Vegas for his bachelor party.
Yeah.
And I had a show that night. They're supposed to come through, but his boys, you know, hooked it all up. So,
of course,
you know, whatever they had him do, they're gonna do. So he didn't come through, but you know, we good. So, you know, Spinderella and Q, that's cool.
That's my peoples, man.
You the Muti side, on the comedy side.
Yeah, I know. Q is a stand-up guy, man. That's my bro for real, man. Once again, congratulations to both of them.
I know.
That's my extended family for forever and ever. You know, we always got each other's backs on every level in terms of how we do this stuff. So me and Spin gonna collaborate on a few things very, very soon. So she's enjoying marital bliss right now. So I'm
well,
just
you know,
so happy for
check this out. Guess what? Last year we were supposed to, because they're supposed to got married last year in May.
Yeah, this is true.
And if you see the flyer, I was on the flyer. That was me.
I gotta, you gonna have me looking. Yeah. I'm have to look back at that.
That's me. So we was gonna do a roast. We're supposed to be doing a roast for Q, you know, in their marriage. We're supposed to be doing that on the cruise. It was on the Grown and Sexy cruise. Okay. And K Michelle was supposed to be on there too. And
really?
So, yeah, wow. It was several of us comedians. We supposed to be roasting Q on it. But you know, because of COVID, that fell through, you know, and it's supposed to got rebooked for this May, but then it got canceled. So I was like, yeah, send my money back. You know what I'm saying? So they went ahead and got married, but it just wasn't gonna be on that boat. You know, Q was like, Val,
I knew it was gonna get postponed, but they were just determined just to work. You know, pandemic really kind of, you know, did a number on us. It did a number for everybody. So, but they took them pictures though. They were still taking them pictures and stuff.
Man, them pictures was the bomb. Them pictures was the bomb.
Yes,
you know,
excellent.
Them pictures was the bomb. I still be shining my picture of me and Spinderella when we first met on the boat. I still got that. We both looking rough, but you know, hey, it's that first sight. Then when she was with Salt and Pepper, they had a residency out here. So I went to their show a couple of times. You know, Q hooked me up, and I went to their show a couple of times out here. So yeah, hey,
he's a stand-up guy.
Hey, we gonna find some way to keep on going our same circle, huh?
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm such a believer in energy because, you know, when God puts you in a certain position, a certain place, it won't be ignored and it can't be denied. That's why I never question. You know, the thing I stopped doing, you know, when I was about 25 or 22 was I stopped questioning the people who I was drawn to. And that's in all degrees, whether it was personal or professional, because some of those relationships that I have now in this industry it's been going on for 20 something years or longer, because the energies that we're all similar on, it creates an atmosphere and sets the atmosphere for great things to happen. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I like all the connections that me and you have already. It's like, oh shoot, okay, this makes a lot of sense. I'm like, you know, even before you had came in my live and different things like that, just even, we were already following each other. So that was already like okay, I see what's up.
Yeah, because we was clicking on each other's stuff, and I just happened to, I was cleaning up something, and you was going in, I was like, you were saying something that was so deep. I was like, here he go again. He always, you know, that's the man right there. So I was like, okay, forget what you look like, Val. Just go in there and say hi to her. You know what I'm saying? I clicked it. You was like, oh, what? You know?
Oh, shit. I mean, look,
it's like, I was like, thanks for accepting my invite. You know, he was like, you know, girl, no problem. You know, like, I'm honored. I was like, no, I'm the one that's honored, you know. So
well, I mean, you know, and it works for me because I mean, most of my fans know I'm such a jokester comedian myself, and that's my kind of movies. And like action movies I love, but I can literally sit in my house all day and watch at least 7 to 9 comedies and just hysterically laugh until my eyeballs get tired of crying from laughing. Like that's really my energy all day, every day. I mean, the serious part of what I do musically and the Brooklyn Hood shit and all that, that's part of it. But my fans will tell you, I love to laugh. I'm a clown. Like I got this new thing I created called Law of Funny Shit. It's a hashtag basically. So basically what I'm gonna start doing, I did it a couple of years and I stopped for a while because there was so much going on. But I just have these moments where I just find some of the funniest clips from my era that I found funny, like songs I found funny, singers I found funny, and I just make jokes about them and shit and put it up on it for people to get the same kind of laugh, and hopefully they'll get the joke like I get it. So that was an automatic connection, and music and comedy go so great together. So
that's true. That's true. And you're right. Our communication, it was before it was even verbal, it was just words, and I could see the connection there. I was like, he was a real cool dude. I always have like the way you carry yourself. You know, you got something coming up on June 2nd.
No, actually June 26th.
Oh, it's the 26th? I thought it was the 22nd. Okay, the 26th. Well, that's better because I was like June 2nd right around the corner.
That's true. I mean, not to say that we wouldn't have been able to get it popping, but nah, like, you know, you gotta remember this is gonna be for those that don't know, my first show in 3 years, not corporate wise. I do a lot of corporate shows. This is my first Planet 12 show in almost 3 years. So basically, you know, because right around that time, I had got into a horrible stage accident where I injured my quad muscle tendon, and I was still able to do a show after that. Like I did the show after surgery and all that. I did the show, but thank God, I'm gonna put it like this: thank God for my skills as a singer, because I'm a singer first and foremost. Because a lot of my fans know me for dancing. So they was like, how is this going to work out, Law? Because you're doing a Michael Jackson tribute. We've seen your tribute shows before. You're not going to do, because we've seen you moonwalk. We don't see you do all of Michael's steps. What are you going to do on this night with a quad muscle tendon recovery? And of course, you got to remember, I said, well, you got to remember, I'm a singer first. So I'm going to do a little something, but I'm going to do most of this show sitting, because I'm not going to let my fans down, because I'm dealing with recovery at this point. And I did the show, and a lot of my fans said it was one of my very best shows. And what they loved the most is like, you know, we always know you can sing, you know, you sing your head off, but we really got a chance to soak up your vocals even more because you wasn't dancing as much. So we get to really hear the purity of your voice. So that's a good advantage to have, because, you know, most singers that dance and most dancers that sing, a lot of them don't know how to do the singing part most times. So
that's true.
I take pride in the fact that I'm a real singer that just really knows how to dance and perform and entertain. So even with an injury, I was still able to make my shit pop off. But in any event, June 26th is my return to the legendary Bitter End Club in New York City. So it's going to be on Saturday, June 26th at 10:30 p.m. Tickets are available now at thebitterend.com. And it's going to be real special, because for those that don't know, I am the first hip-hop based act to play the Bitter End. Until I came along, they didn't want nothing to do with hip-hop. All my heroes played there. The Ozzy Brothers, Curtis Mayfield, Bob Dylan, Donny Hathaway recorded his classic live album there. Joni Mitchell, Bruce Springsteen, Lady Gaga. They all had blues, funk, R&B, and folk acts, but they had never, ever had a hip-hop act. So I am proud to be in the history books of the Bitter End as the first hip-hop based artist to play the Bitter End. And I've opened the door for a lot of the bands that had a hybrid, because after I came along, the Bitter End started to hire other bands that had the same type of mixture that I did. Not exactly like me, because we're all different, but I'm just saying more so we have the same mission. There's hip-hop, there's some jazz, there's some funk, there's some rock. Like, we're giving you a whole smorgasbord of musical stuff going on. So yeah.
Okay. Well, someone has a question. They said, what is his biggest inspiration?
Ooh, wow. My biggest inspiration. That's a tough one. My biggest inspiration. Okay. I'll say it like this. My biggest inspiration would definitely have to be my grandfather.
Oh,
because here's a man.
Say it again. Tell them again who your grandfather is.
The legendary Sam Blues Man Taylor. Because here's a man.
Blues is spelled B-L-U-Z.
Yes. Here's a man that simply refused to lose. Have been through so much in this industry and seen the worst of it. Seen a little bit of the best of it, but definitely more so the worst of it. And no matter what, I mean, when he told me the story about him and my grandmother separating, and she said to him, the kids will be grown by the time you succeed. And my grandfather's response was, so be it. And then he said, the reason why I said so be it is because all I could think about is if I give up on my dreams, what are my kids and my grandkids going to do?
Wow.
Going to give up on theirs. So when I read that, he has a book out. We got to actually re-release the book.
Okay.
Probably before the year is out. But in his book, as I read the transcript before the book actually came into fruition. But when he said that, it blew my mind, because that's the way I always felt before I knew that he made that statement. So when he said that in his book and said that I had to keep going, even though it was hard and it was depressing and things weren't working out for me, my Scorpio warriors, because he's a Scorpio too. That's why me and him are close as well.
Oh, wow.
So we, me and my older brother, Casino Chip, we really took after him in terms of the determination and not giving up no matter what it looks like, because he always said to me, you're going to be better than me. Like that's why he gave me the knowledge. He gave me the information that I needed. He said, own your publishing no matter what. Don't ever sell your publishing to nobody. Hold on to your, he gave me the game. He gave me the real.
You learned that early. I learned
the bit. I'll put you like this. Here's another reason why. The reason why, because I get this question a lot too. Everybody used to always ask, like, and it's a weird question, because nowadays success is defined by so many things. The success that we knew back in the industry is no longer what it is today. Back in the day, if you had a #1 record or a platinum or gold record, or you was on television all the time, you were considered successful. You're a star, yeah. But if you notice, the last 15, 20 years, the biggest stars came where? Internet.
That's true.
So my thing is that, and mind you, the industry don't forget, the industry didn't want the internet to prosper. Remember that. I don't know if you remember that. The record labels were scared. They didn't want the internet because they knew that they were going to eventually lose their influence and lose power. They may have had the money, but the influence was gone. So now let's go back to me. Imagine me being 15, 16 years old, sitting in a meeting with a record label, and I'm asking about publishing and royalties. Are you kidding me?
No. There's like, what are you talking about? You're too young to know about that. What do you mean?
And that's the thing. And so now what you're basically learning is now why Law did not get signed to a major record label. It wasn't because look, first of all, what label wouldn't want to? I mean, if I had a record label, I would want to. I'm going to run this. If I saw a kid that can sing, rap, play 7 instruments, can produce and write his or her own stuff, I'm signing them right away. I'm not going to be like, oh, nobody won't get it, because that was always the excuse they had. We just don't know how to categorize you, Law. We don't know that. I said, that's bullshit, because y'all didn't categorize Prince, because he wouldn't let y'all. And they hated me for that. When I said that to them, it's like, well, Prince was different. And I said, no, don't even try that. I said, no, he was. I said, no, he was different, but his mindset was still pretty much, let me be me. Let me do what I do. And the thing was, just for me at 16, 17 years old, the record labels weren't trying to hear no 16-year-old kid that was basically letting them know, I know my value, I know my worth. So eventually, for 7 years, we tried to get signed and nothing happened. And then one day I just woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to make myself a valuable commodity, because if they're not going to put me in their major situation, I'm going to become a major player in a major situation.
Wow.
That's the reason why Lionel Richie is a Law fan. There you go. I ain't gotta say nothing else.
You sound like my cousin Eminem. I'm really flattered. He's in our chat.
Okay, what's up?
That's one from New York too. He's still in New York. Remember I told you that when I stayed in Manhattan, I went to the Bronx. That was him that I went to go visit.
Well, you better make sure they come to my show on June 26th. They gotta come.
I tell him, you know what? He has get so many awards he's an actor. He has wrote plays, he's done plays. He has got so many awards for being in there. I'm just, maybe if he dropped backstage, I will pull him up. But he has even told me about Val. Let's do some stuff on you. And I'm like, I'm kind of scared, but he's like, just let me do it. So I told him one day, I told myself I can act a fool on stage, but I don't know if I can act a fool on stage with you, but I'm gonna work at it. Let me see if I have one person want to come up and see what they got to say. Hey, Sincere.
What's going on? Salute to y'all, man. I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed the brother conversation.
Oh, wow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, fam. Thank you.
Yeah. Great job, Val. I'm proud of you. I'm a true supporter of you. I'm really down for it.
Thank you.
Yes.
You got a question for Law?
Yes, I do have a question for him. Do you have to be involved in the whole industry, or can you just pick one part of it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Say it again. I'm sorry. Let me catch that.
Can I pick? Do you have to be like in all parts of the industry, or can you just pick one particular spot that you want to be at? Because that's my trouble. Because I'm trying to do my own little thing, and Val knows I'm trying. I'm really working my butt off trying to get my things up and popping. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's an old saying. It's called put all your irons in the fire. Whichever one is the hottest first, pull that one out, and then the rest will follow. So I've like my situation to even tell Val even this, as I'm telling you this as well, fam. I knew that at 12 or 13 years old, because I was both of my arms were being pulled in two different directions. My rapping ability, I was winning all my rap battles at the age of 11 and 12 years old. I'm winning all my rap battles, but then at the same time, I'm playing in church with my uncle's church. I'm playing gospel music, and then I'm in the clubs with my mother, my aunt, and my grandfather playing R&B and blues and rock and roll. So, and then during the day, I'm battling in rhyme ciphers against some of my peeps. So it's like, for me, it was almost like the older folks were more like, we love when you sing. I don't know about, I'm not into all that rap stuff, but you can. And then my peers is like, yo, Lord's nice, but we ain't really, the guys, we ain't really with all that R&B singing stuff. And it's like, I'm being pulled like this. And one day I just said, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm doing everything, man. And then Prince and Stevie Wonder gave me the battery to kind of do that, because every time I bought an album from either one of those guys, I noticed the similarities. Mm-hmm. They pretty much, for the most part, wrote all of their own music, played all the instruments. They may have had some side musicians playing a few things, but for the most part, Stevie and Prince didn't need nobody in the studio. And I wanted to become that person. When I learned how they did things, I wanted to be the kind of person that was always sufficient. Now, band on stage is one thing, but in the studio, I didn't want to have to wait for nobody. I didn't have the money that I have now to be paying people to play a bass line. I'm like, no, I'm going to immerse myself as much as possible. And look, if Prince and Stevie can do it and Hendrix can do it, why can't I? And that was my whole attitude. So that's the reason why I felt like I had to be involved in every part of the industry, because of the way things were. I was just pretty much, I wanted to be self-sufficient as much as possible. And that, and it worked out in the long run. That's why I have the career I have now. 20 plus years making money off of music full time. How many people can say that?
Welcome, Emmett. Emmett Thrower is in the house. Welcome.
Oh, what up, Emmett? I was looking at him. I was like, okay, what's up, man?
Emmett, you on mute. We can't hear you, babe.
So should I continue? Keep talking?
No, 1 second, sister.
All right.
We can't hear you, Emmett. Let's see what it's not on. It's not. See if you're muted. You got earpiece on?
Uh-oh.
You got an earpiece on, Emmett?
He said no.
Let me see what's going on. I can't see it.
He unmuted his button already?
Let me see. Yeah, I don't have his thing muted.
He looks frozen. Okay.
Talk again, Emmett. Let me see if I can hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
I can hear you now. There we go.
Okay, the problem was, I didn't have it on my. See, this is all new stuff here. With I'm trying to figure it out.
Talking about that.
So
it's okay, old school. You got it.
Yeah, but I'm here now, like they say. Like the next day, we here.
Okay. All right. I was talking, you know what? I can't tell everything that you've done. I know you have done so many films and so many plays and everything else. Can you give us a little, because y'all both from New York, and can you give us a little feedback? He was just telling us the knowledge and about, how you've been telling me too about keeping your own, doing your own and all that stuff. That same thing my friend Law has been sitting here telling me too, So how did you even get involved with the play industry in New York? Dealing that New York is just like the top place to do plays in.
Well, what happened with me is that I was young and I got retired from my job. I was a New York City police officer. I got hurt and got retired. But I was too young to I'm doing something. And so I started doing stand-up comedy.
Okay.
And I had stage fright. Terrible stage fright.
Really? Wow.
So once I got on stage, I was good. But to go on stage, I was dying. So I took acting classes. And acting classes, I felt would give me the confidence when I go on stage doing my stand-up. And so my acting teacher, she said, you know, you're a natural. I said, really? And so that propelled me into really exploring something I never thought about, is if I work hard, maybe I can be a decent actor. And so from there, I started auditioning, and I just kept getting work in Shakespeare plays, all kind of plays. And they were writing plays for me. Some of the biggest off-Broadway playwrights wrote plays, particularly for me. One off-Broadway playwright from the Castillo Theater, Dr. Fred Newman. He wrote all these plays for me where I played Malcolm X, Paul Robeson, Jesse Jackson. I mean, I could go on and on. So that was how my beginnings to appreciate, you know, what the arts, whatever it is, and you find your passion. And I realized I finally found a way to express myself, to get things out, to get my point of view out, pretty much the way a singer, a poet, or a comedian does. Find yourself in what you do.
That's right.
Because first I tried to, like most people, you try and copy somebody. So I was trying to copy Bill Cosby, telling stories, right? And Richard Pryor, you know, those were my models. And then I realized I'm not Richard Pryor, so I did play Richard Pryor on stage, by the way.
Oh yeah!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I know you did a lot of plays. Yeah.
Yeah. The last play I did with somebody else, I did a Richard Pryor routine that he did when he visited Africa. I did it on stage. Yeah.
I remember that.
So that was the part about finding yourself in your work. And once you find it, as you well know, it's no longer work. It's just living and telling your truth, whether somebody wants to hear it or not. Whether you're acting, even though someone else writes the words, you can put your opinion in the way you think about the world and how you create that character. Right. So that was my joy, and it's still my passion now as a filmmaker and so forth, because I take that same energy and thought process into creating films. Of course, you know, I love documentary films now because they're about people, and I love people, and I like ordinary people and their stories and their truths and their experiences. So that's kind of, I mean, I did a lot of things. I can't sit here and give you a resume of all the stuff I've done.
You like my friend Law. Y'all resume go for forever.
It's called putting in work. That's
but Emmett, guess what? Guess who Law's grandfather is?
Who?
Sam Taylor, the blues singer.
Wow, blue, and I love me some blues.
That's his grandfather.
Wow, that's great. So you got genes in you to be an artist, because you know that DNA, you know, is all into you. So what's in him is in your line. So you have that DNA. Obviously, you have a high intellect and knowledge of foresight of what people are doing, how things are working, and how you should approach them based on what you want and not what other people want. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I received that. Thank you.
That's that New York coming out of y'all. That's the New York coming out of y'all.
Yeah, man.
It's the ultimate hustle of just again being you, because like before you came on, I was telling Val about you know, how I was forced, not in a bad way, but I was forced basically because it's like my hands are tied. You know, they don't want me over here because I know too much. They don't want me over here because they're afraid that if a person like me comes into that circumference, things are going to shift. And, you know, and as I wasn't coming to take nobody's job. I'm coming in there being me, being everything that I was taught to be in my circumference. So it took a while for me to find, like you said, find that angle and that groove to what separated me from everybody else. Because my grandfather used to always say to me, we all get something from somebody. And what we do is, after a while, as we harness that, we become our own. He gave me the greatest example he gave me was the Rolling Stones, who's one of my favorite rock groups. And he said, if you listen to the Rolling Stones earlier stuff, it was very, very, of course, you know, as everybody knows, they're influenced by the blues. Their whole thing, they came to Chicago because they wanted to meet Howlin' Wolf. That was their hero, Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters. So basically, if you notice, in the 80s, as time went along, the Rolling Stones have finally found their sound. Mm-hmm. To this day, when you hear Mick Jagger or you hear Charlie Watts playing the same drum beat on every damn record, he never changes. You know a Stones record when you hear it, because look how long it took for them to harness all those influences that they had that created their own special magic. That's why we're still talking about the Rolling Stones in 2021. These guys are all in their late 70s and almost damn near 80s, still doing tours before COVID hit. They were doing tours. So
I read that about your grandfather. I read that it didn't matter what he played, it's how he played everything. You don't have to be in the same room. You knew his music. You knew it was him.
Well, his guitar. Well, I mean, if you listen to the song that DMX sample, I just did a video recently. I'm actually going to release it probably the end of this week. His guitar style was very distinct because it's the perfect combination of the funk and the blues structure, and a lot of rhythm guitar players that played that way. I mean, one of my biggest heroes besides Granddad is Jimmy Nolan from James Brown's band.
Oh, wow.
Got a brand new back. That one chord that he did on that record is the definition of what we know as funk-based guitar. Because James Brown's a creator of funk. So basically, that one chord, when he said Papa's got a brand new bag, he was talking about, I got this new style that Motown and Stax and none of these guys got, which was true. James Brown had a whole sound. They didn't know what to call it. And that's when they called it funk. It's like, oh, okay, this is some whole other shit that we're doing. So my grandfather is from that particular school of blues-based guitar players that played those 9/11 chords to perfection. So I inherited his styles. I never watched my grandfather play it until I got older. So I inherited it naturally because of the records that I listened to and what felt good to me at that moment. So my grandfather is definitely one of those distinct guitar players where on all those BT Express records you hear, because that's him playing all the rhythm guitar parts on all the BT Express stuff. You'll hear it. You know it's him. And then especially if his name was on he didn't write all the songs, but on the songs that he did write, I guarantee you're going to hear his signature guitar style in there. So, yeah.
Wow. So, tell us again, where's your show going to be on the 26th? Because I know my cousin is down there, and I know he'll pass the word on. So, what exactly? June 26th. Where is it?
June 26th at the legendary Bitter Inn in Greenwich Village, right on West Fork, right on Bleecker.
You know where that's at, cuz? Emmett.
Now you know I'm from New York. We all know where the Bitter is.
I knew he know.
You ain't from New York. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna post it so you can pass the word on, so we can get some more folks out there to become support. Because I can't fly out there right now. Because if I could, I would. You know what I'm saying? I would, but that's okay because I'm gonna still make it out the gig. Because I'm always coming back and forth out there.
Yeah, and then I'm playing some West Coast shows as well. So we're working heavy on that now as we speak. It takes time, but we're getting that together. So at some point, we're bringing it over there too. So
okay. Well, I really appreciate you dropping in, answering the questions, and giving us the full tea on how to do your thing. Do not stop your dreams, and you are a great inspiration to so many people. I just really, really want you to know that. And a lot of times I've learned in the entertainment industry, a lot of people are so insecure about someone passing them up that they're scared to tell them the knowledge that they know. And so it's appreciated hearing somebody like you that's so deep into just telling the knowledge. What they do with it is what they do with it, but you're not afraid to tell somebody what you learned and how you learned it.
Well, can I be honest? Because number one, I'm a secure motherfucker myself. So when you're secure, it makes it easy for me because, see, you got to remember, nobody can't do what I do. Just like somebody can't do what Dr. Dre does. That's one of my heroes. And as much, and mind you, I study. There's certain things in my production I got from Dre, but I'm be honest. I'm like, it's almost like a cover. It's like a remake and an original. I appreciate a good remake of a song of a classic song, and in some cases, some remakes were better than in my opinion, some remakes were better than the original. But guess what? Even in the original standpoint of that recording, there is something that singer or that rapper, whoever, did not have that the other person may have had, because there's room for everybody. So the thing for me is that when you pass knowledge down, my grandfather, honestly, you would have really thought that he should have been the real bitter guy after he got jerked around for so long in the industry. But all of my grandfather's students, all the young white kids that wanted to play blues, they have all went around the world and create their own chapters in honor of my grandfather. They used to all be at this very house right here that I'm in, that I'm reporting from right now. They all used to be in this house right here alongside with me, learning from my grandfather and soaking up the knowledge. And he would always say at the end, like in the show, when I would get off the stage or somebody else that he would bring up on stage, he's like, listen, these young guys, somebody got to keep doing it when the old man is dead and gone. And we used to hate when he talked like that, but he was already preparing mentally, saying that at least I feel happy that when I do leave this earth, besides my grandkids, these other guys who I taught, they're going to carry on tradition and carry on the name and pass on the knowledge. So what kind of insecure motherfucker would I have to be stingy, especially when it worked for me? You understand what I'm saying? It was my blueprint worked for me because of what's being done. So I have to pass that down, because there's a lot of kids right now that think that they have to do A, B, C, and D to be successful in this industry, because they got the wrong people in their ear, and then they forget that what this is about. And it's not about money, because if you're doing this just for money, Emmett can attest to that, because if you're doing it just for money and you don't have passion behind what you do, because the money can eventually go on. We've seen some of the greatest stars in the world lose millions of dollars like this. Right. At some point, it can't just be about the money. The money is sufficient. Don't get it twisted. But I can easily say that if I wasn't making the kind of money I'm making, you would find me somewhere jamming with my friends. I did it one night. One night I had a corporate show, and my boys, Days of Wild, were jamming at the Red Lion Club, which is right next door. You know, it's right next door to the Bitter End. They were jamming at 2:00 in the morning. I just finished a corporate show that pays me X thousands amount of dollars. I make very good money doing corporate shows, just to let people know. I make very good money. I went downstairs, and as soon as Law's in the building. Yo, Law, you got to jump on the drums. And I jumped on the drums, and I literally played with them from 2 in the morning to 3:30, then jumped my ass back in the Uber and went back home. So that goes to show you the passion that I have, because I'm a musician, I'm a singer, I'm a rapper. I'm not just going to go and just make the money, even though the money pays me very well. I love what I do, and I support my friends in my circle for the last 20 years. We all are dedicated to the history part of it and the thrill of it. Or somebody just said they can drive 3. Yeah, there you go. Come on down, Jenny. Come on. Who wants to come to the show? Come on, bring some people with you, because they're doing the way the system is now. They're doing it by tables now. So basically, because you know all the COVID stuff and all that now, the new rules that everybody has to buy in group. Right. Yeah, come on down, Jenny. Come get you.
That's what I did when I did my last show that I did. I sold it by sofa, and people didn't understand how I did that. But a lot of people like that I did it that way, because they didn't have to sit by anybody that they didn't want to sit by.
Didn't know. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If they bought a 3-seat sofa and it was only 2 of them, that's their choice. You know what I'm saying? That they paid for that spot. You know, so it worked out for me. It was thank God it was a sold out, and we had a nice show. You know, a couple of hiccups, but that's okay. And nothing's gonna be perfect, and I don't expect anything to be perfect.
But we give people their money. But the one thing about us, and that's why I definitely want Jenny and Emmett to come down, because I promise you, if you ain't seen none of my clips on, you seen some of my clips, Val, on Instagram and stuff like that. Right. In the words of Prince Nassim, you about to see a show, baby. I promise you. This is pure entertainment on every level. Musicianship, real singing, no auto-tune, real MCing, real showmanship. My microphone is on when I sing. There is no auto-tune. There's no stems. None of that shit. You're getting a full quality show in the grand tradition of all of our heroes who we all love. Because even if you didn't, I always tell people, if you didn't like Prince, then you had to like probably Hendrix or Living Color, any one of the top tier bands, or Mint Condition or Tony. We're bringing all of that energy in one ridiculous high energy stage show. So I just saw somebody say they can drive from Maryland. Come on, come on down. I promise you, this is going to be a show that you don't want to miss. If you want to get some money's worth of entertainment, this is the show to be at. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the artist. I'm saying that because my reputation speaks for itself. So
yeah, that's the gentleman that was asking you the question earlier about your influences and stuff. That's a sincere, yeah. So like I said, I'm just in awe right now. I'm just so honored, woo.
No,
I knew that you was gonna have a mouthful because I said you always got something good to say. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you get to talking, I want to go off, but I gotta hear what else you gotta say. Like, oh yeah, well, yeah. You always got something that you just keep pulling me in. I'm like, I gotta go finish this. But I end up listening to the whole thing till you check out. So
if you're going to talk, you gotta have. That's always been my thing. It's like, Lord can talk. I said, yeah, but guess what? There's a lot of people that talk way more than me, and they ain't talking about shit. Or what James Brown said, talking loud and they ain't saying nothing. So it's almost like, if you're gonna have that type of verbal barrage to speak, it should be something uplifting. It should be real. It should be raw. It should be uncensored so that people can understand the truth of your sentiments and what you're expressing. So, if you have something interesting to say, I think people will listen. I've always been like that. So I'm grateful that my fans can tune into my podcast or whenever I go live and they want to hear what I have to say, because I don't go live every 5 minutes like a lot of artists do. I don't do that whole, hey, I'm taking a shit right now, I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm like, I don't do that shit. If I come on live, it's because I have something to get off my chest, or I wanted to really uplift or celebrate one of my heroes, and that's really the main thing.
Did I spell it wrong? Yeah. I think I just spelled it wrong. I'm trying to, everybody's asking about how to get tickets to your thing. Did I put that right?
Oh, that's easy. I mean, they can go to thebitterend.com, but also if they follow me on Instagram.
Okay, did I put your IG page up right? Because it's Planet 12 Law, right? I put it up right? Okay. Yeah, so you can go there. Also, too, on there, I seen an Eventbrite to get tickets too. I seen that on there.
It's on there. It's all there. So just look for Law on the Planet 12. For those who are going to the Bitter Insight, they click on that link, because I put up one post earlier. If they go up there, you put plant, not planet.
Okay. Well, shit, I ain't got my glass. That's why actually I put it right, because I ain't got.
No, I didn't. It just popped up. That's why I didn't see it. So it's Planet 12 Law. So the thing is just that in all degrees, if you go to the Bitter End website, they're gonna take you to the floor plan. That's how you buy your tickets, because they give you the floor diagram on where you may want to sit. You and your friends, if they're coming to the show. So you click on that and you can purchase your tickets right there. So
okay, well, I'm kind of upset that I can't come to the show, but you know what I'm saying? I'll be at one soon. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, absolutely. I'm going to hold you to that. You know that already. So
hey, Emmett already know I come through. I love coming to work. He know it. I come there and he get on my case. If I don't stop through, he gonna get on my case. But he always got to feed me. That's why I'm so damn fat now. I'm on a serious diet now. I'm on a serious diet. So I've been playing it off for too long.
You wouldn't have been in the village area, because that's all there is to do is eat and listen to music. Because the food spots in that area, woo! You know, Emmett, the food spots in that area.
Man, Emmett take me to so many strange places to eat. He done took me to so many different places. I don't even know what kind of food I was eating last time I was there.
He's a Renaissance man. That's right.
Look, he done brought the owners out. The owners been coming over there tomorrow. So yes, you from Vegas? Yes.
He's a Renaissance man. He knows the places where to eat and can turn you on to some different things. I feel you, E. I'm with you on that.
All right, my brothers, I got love for both of y'all, and I really appreciate you guys coming through. And I will be posting the information for his show on there. I will be giving you his tagline, his IG. I will be putting this on my pages. I will leave it on YouTube. It will be on Instagram, and I will be posting a link on Facebook too. So you guys are more than welcome to come back and watch it. It's a lot of deep information here. And you want to share it, please share it. Everybody, please subscribe, hit those thumbs up button. It helps me out a lot, and I appreciate you hanging in there with us. And to Emmett Thrower and to Mr. Law, love y'all both, and I wish you both the best.
Thank you so much.
So,
I appreciate it.
So on three, we're gonna shout out and tell everybody. Huh?
Now, I was telling the brother, hope I get a chance to get down there to the bitter end and see him. You never know.
Yeah, man. I would love to see you there, man. If you're ready to get your head blown off musically, it's the place to come to. So
yeah, I need that.
Okay. All right. On the count of three, we're gonna all say peace out to the audience. So 1, 2, 3. Peace. Y'all crazy.